Welcome to the Covert Narcissism podcast. I'm your host, Renee Swanson. I am not a therapist, and you are not a victim. Welcome to the Covert Narcissism podcast. I'm your host, Renee Swanson, and I thank everyone for joining us again on this podcast. And today we have Eleanor Marks back. It's always a pleasure to talk to Eleanor, so I'm just going to start by saying, hi, Eleanor. It's great to see you again.
Hey, Renee. How's it going?
Pretty good.
We're doing it again.
We're at it again. Yes. Nice and cold fall weather here. Definitely getting chillier, closer to the holidays. So how are things in your world?
We got snow yesterday outside of Chicago.
I heard about that. Actually, I saw that on the football game last night.
It caught me off guard. I was not expecting it. And then it was sticking. And like, oh, maybe we got to get the shovels out or anything here. But yeah, it was a nice surprise.
Feels a little early for that in November. So.
We're just going to bypass Thanksgiving and go straight into Christmas with the snow.
Yes. Apparently. So maybe that means it's going to be a pretty snowy winter. I don't know. We'll find out.
I don't know. I'm ready for it, though. I'm ready.
Yeah. All right. So you've got a divorce group coming up. I want to go ahead and give you an opportunity to introduce that here, let everybody know about it.
Yeah. Divorcing a Covert Narcissist, how to strategize and navigate for the best outcome. I somehow got an overwhelming amount of emails about it once the last group had already started. So there were a lot of people who kind of missed the beginning boat. And so I'm trying to jump ahead so people have plenty of time. So next group is going to start January 15th. 2025, for those people who are listening to this podcast in a different year. We're going to do them on Wednesdays, and there's going to be 2 sessions. There's going to be 11 a.m. Central Time, so the lunch hour people who can get away from work for a bit. And then we'll do an evening session at 7 p.m. Central Time for the people who are in the evening. And sometimes we catch a lot of international people that time frame as well. It's 6 weeks, small groups. We hope to have like 5 to 7 in each group. And we're going to kind of dissect the messy process of divorcing a narcissist or someone who exhibits narcissistic qualities. We're trying to treat the symptoms here, not necessarily a miscellaneous diagnostic code. This is for anybody who may be thinking about divorcing, kind of just like a little bit of research and recon, trying to gather some information and get their ducks in a row. This is for anybody who's actually in a divorce process, who really might be overwhelmed right now of like, what in the world is going on and what did I get myself into? Hopefully we can help untangle some things. And strangely, there's been a couple of Facebook posts of people who are already divorced and they still feel they don't have a handle on things. So maybe they have their paperwork already filed and in the court and stamped and done, but their healing can use a little bit of a boost or self-care. Maybe they're looking that they have to go back to court and could like want to get a better attorney. How can I do this better? So it's kind of something for everybody in there. We meet for 2 hours. We do introductions, we do wellness checks with everybody in our group. How's everybody doing? It's a safe environment. And then we talk about a different topic each of the 6 weeks. We're going to hit radical acceptance, unpacking the misconceptions of the court system and attorneys, building an ideal co-parenting plan and a communication system with your ex, which sometimes seems impossible. But we want to find the best way to promote yourself as the parent that you are. And sometimes we're not the best promoters of ourselves. We're going to talk a documentation system. And then again, that good old self-care. We spend a whole evening on self-care outside of the box and the things that we can do, want to do. So there's something in there for everyone.
That sounds amazing. And thank you so much for kind of breaking that down. I mean, this journey, whether you're in the divorce process, not in the divorce process, all these different stages, there's so much overlap for everybody that's going through this. So the self-care, the radical acceptance, and all the pieces. So thank you.
And to get more information or to register, they can go to your website, covertnarcissism.com/divorce.
Yeah,
that should take them right there.
That will take them
questions, answers.
Absolutely. And they can reach out to either one of us with questions that we can help with and direct. So everybody out there listening, yes, reach out to us anytime. You can find us through email. You can find us through Facebook. Everything's out there. So
thank you, Internet.
Yes, thank you, Internet. So, all right.
You got some things coming up? Some events?
I do. We actually are starting some hiking events, hiking and kayaking and camping. We're going to be doing this around the year, like 4 or 5 different opportunities throughout the year. And all of that is actually going to be on the website as well under covertnarcissism.com/events. And it's an events page, and that will be updated regularly for events in different parts of the country. So I just encourage everyone to check it out. Take a look at it. Join us if you can. It's been awesome to finally get to meet some people face to face and spend that time together.
You're going to do this throughout the winter?
Yes, we are going to find some winter locations too that we can do this.
Okay.
And then, it won't be Colorado. Colorado will have to wait for the summertime, but we are going to be finding some nice places to do it even in the winter months.
Okay. It's neat to see those expand from kayaking and camping now.
Yes. Yes. We are adding some other pieces to it. So
nice.
All right. So what's on the docket today?
So I found another great Facebook post. Kirsten posted this that it kind of caught my attention. I'm like, yeah, we need to talk more about this. She posted, and this is a couple of weeks ago, for those of you who have gotten out of a relationship with a covert narcissist, or even just woke up to someone being a covert narcissist, what were some things you thought was totally normal and now realize it isn't? It had me laughing, right? Because I don't know about you, Renee, but like there are many times that I will be out and then just have to pause and like, oh, that wasn't normal. This is the way it's supposed to be.
I actually just thought of one when we were chatting about the snow that I came from Colorado. I love snow days. Like I loved it. I loved to go out and play in the snow and go build snowmen. And the marriage, snow days meant he didn't go to work. And I started hating snow days. And I just, I didn't understand. I just thought, oh yeah, I don't like snow. Like it became normal to me. I don't like snow. No, I don't like snow days. And then I realized, wait, yes, I do. And I thought it was normal to not like snow days, and especially because I lived in the South then at that point. Everybody in the South hates snow. And so I was like, yeah, I hate snow days too. I just kind of fell into that like that was normal. And then wait, no. Light.
No. It's not normal. I found that when people would like give invitations or, hey, let's get together for dinner on this date or whatever, that I would cringe because my first thought was like, what excuse am I going to have to give when the date comes around? Which kid will be, hopefully people can see my air quotes, sick, or, flights delayed because there'll be a mood to deal with, a fight that just cannot be resolved or put on the side or even fudged through. And, think like, am I really going to make it to that dinner or not? And so I love getting invitations now because I'm like, heck yes, I'm going to be there. I don't have to
have to babysit
something up. Yes.
And
yeah. It took a while to put those pieces together on the chain of events for that.
That's fair. And I thought it was normal to, one of the things that I know I went through was I would like make sure I invited him to join us being the boys and I, in activities we were doing at home, like sitting down and playing a game or going out in the backyard and throwing a football or watching TV. And I would have to make sure I go invite him. And I thought it was normal. Like that's what you do. And you go make sure you roll out the red carpet. Oh, would you come and join us and do this thing with us? And then I realized, wait, other people don't do that. Like when the parent wants to join the activity, they just join. Like there's no red carpet invitation that has to be laid out. Just come and do it.
I think a lot of people talk about that, how hard marriage is. It's hard. And I think that I templated that over to my own, like, oh, this is hard. And yep, it is hard. I can agree with that. I think I've kind of found out getting out that like, yes, it's work, just like cooking is work. But it doesn't have to be this, like trying to get water from a rock. difficultness. So it's not normal. It's not normal to have it be that hard.
It takes effort. Okay, I can give you that. Or, oh, we're struggling through every step of the way. Yeah.
Survival. Yeah. Casey commented on this post, feeling ridiculously anxious when you hear the car pull in and the front door open.
Yeah, I can relate to that one. For me, it was the garage door.
Garage door. Yeah.
And that was not a sound I liked. I hated the garage door. So, yeah. And that's not normal to feel that way about your spouse getting home.
No. That's the garage door too, right?
Right.
You already knew what was coming by the garage door opening and the effects, the chain offense. Nicole commented, lack of communication. Thinking of, hey, that's just not normal. And I have to say, I just thought my ex wasn't good with details. It was like an Easter egg hunt trying to get information. You'd ask once, you'd ask twice. And finally on the third time, he'd tell you like a really big, important piece that you shouldn't have even had to have asked for. It should have been just offered freely. And just how hard the communication was. And
yes.
Different.
So that goes back to what you were saying is marriage is hard. While marriage, yes, is hard or it takes effort, getting that communication is like trying to get water from a rock.
Pam wrote or commented, name calling and screaming.
Wow.
Thought it was normal, not normal.
I have to admit that one I can't relate to because that wasn't the environment that we had. But I cannot imagine somebody being at the point where screaming and name calling is normal. Like that's tough.
I got a bit of the name calling, more mocking or teasing. I'm going to kind of throw that in there, this childish behavior. And I think it stuns you so much when it happens. Like, did he just say that? How old is this person? And it sets you kind of spiraling a bit.
Yeah.
Shannon commented really well, got a lot of likes on this one, thinking that it was normal that men were emotionally unavailable. I truly believed that all men lacked empathy and the ability to love.
That's tough. That's tough because it's not true. And there are some many extremely empathetic men out there. But it can, when you're trapped in that in a relationship, it is easy then to just think, well, that's just the way, the book Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. It's just that we're different and that it's just normal that this is the case. But it's not normal. When I look at some of my friends who have beautiful marriages and wonderfully empathetic husbands and that connection that they have, I go, okay, no, this is not normal.
Society does a wonderful job of boosting that. Well, he's a man, or that's what men do. And writing off abnormal behavior as is just because of their gender has got us in a pretty prickly spot of what we believe is normal.
Is what we believe is normal. And I think for the men who are living this with a covert narcissistic wife, I would say for them, I think a lot of them, society also then just makes it normal. Well, women are just more emotional. Women are just too sensitive. And so I think both sides of that, it creates that situation where you think it's just normal. And so I'm just going to deal with it. I'm just going to, overlook it, or I'm just going to do workarounds and make it happen, make it work. And we think it's normal.
Yeah. Rebecca commented, eagerly letting you take the blame that is actually his, and then acting like he's a good guy and will stay with you despite your flaws. She adds, I never saw it when he did it to me, but when he did it to my daughter for the first time, I raged that he would be so cruel and let her feel responsible for something that had nothing to do with her. Then I realized he did it to me on a daily basis. That's when I started planning my divorce.
Wow.
They're crafty.
They're
crafty.
And it's easier to see when they do it to somebody else.
Yeah.
Than when it does. So that is a very good point.
That was a hard one when you see it happen to your children, right? And I mean, sometimes that's what you need to wake you up. It's okay to, keep hurting me, abusing me. When you start doing it to my kids, it goes to a different observation level.
Yeah. Yeah. I know I was very much so the mindset of I can put up with a lot. I can put up with this. I can work around it. I can go work out my feelings elsewhere. But watching it with my children, watching it happen to my children, that drew out the mama bear or wherever it goes. But no, that's not okay.
The new level.
Yeah.
I like this one. Katie wrote in, she thought it was normal not having access to the bank account. I like this one, especially the other day. I was in the car. I was listening to like a money show, and a woman called in on how she used to have all this money. She had her own house. She got married, and now her husband kind of took over things, takes her paycheck. She can't see what's in there. She has no idea what accounts they have, how much are in them. And I'm at a red light, and it kind of takes my breath away. I'm like, oh God. And she's calling into a money show. And I'm waiting for the host to please don't tell me, well, you need to sit down and do a budget or something here. And he came back and he's like, do you hear yourself talk? You're in an abusive relationship. And I'm like, ooh, green light. We can keep driving here. But that she didn't see that as abnormal. She called into a money help show of diagnosing or helping her with this problem of having a husband who
wow
put that lockdown on her.
I hope she was listening then when they spoke up.
It was very interesting to hear her kind of try to not to dance around the abusive relationship part versus well, do you think I should get my own bank account? No, don't think that's gonna help what you got going on here. But it was just a highlight on how we don't want to really see what's right in front of us and do different things.
And I can just hear, imagine even myself in that situation where the excuses start coming. Well, but it just worked out better for him to set up the bank account. It just made more sense. Mm-hmm. It just was logical for that to happen. And no, it's not abuse, but we've got this going on or that going on. And then the more I talk, the more I go, whoa, wait a minute. This is not.
Yeah. It's harsh. It's a big light bulb going on.
Wow.
Big light bulb.
Wow.
My last one is from Violet. She wrote in thinking that it was normal, making every instance that he lied, cheated, or broke my trust as somehow traceable back to my fault for being too intense. You keep hearing that a couple of times and you justify it I must be highly sensitive, right? There's that too intense.
Too intense, too emotional, too reactive, not emotional enough, not reactive enough. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Everything is your fault because of this. You didn't dress pretty enough. You didn't, you dressed too pretty. It doesn't matter what it is. Dinner was too early. Dinner was too late. It doesn't matter.
Too hot, too cold.
Yeah.
No potatoes.
Yes, I feel like we're, Goldilocks and the Three Bears. This one was too hot. This one was too cold. Oh, I'll go cheat. Yeah. We're going to rewrite the story.
Yeah.
But it makes it, where everything is your fault. And when you backpedal this to where you're still not seeing the abuse, we're going back to, talking about the lady who's tap dancing around, this is not abuse. Before you see the abuse as abuse, you see that, okay, well, I was kind of, I was being a little intense there because there's just enough element of truth to it that you accept the blame.
Yep. Yeah. There's some great comments. It was fun sifting through all of those and seeing people's reactions to them and the thumbs up and the sad faces. And it was a good post.
That was a great post. And if everybody out there listening, if you're wondering kind of what we're talking about, what post where, this is the Covert Narcissism group. It is a closed group that is on Facebook. It's been out there active for about 6 years now. and reaches around the world, men and women alike. And it is just a safe space to be able to talk, to have conversations. You can make anonymous posts within it. I actually just learned here recently that you can make anonymous comments. I didn't know that. I didn't think that was an option, and I'm learning how that works. And I think that's great that you can stay completely anonymous if you want.
Can I throw out there with the anonymous posts, just to save a bunch of emails coming in, that I believe you can only do anonymous posts and anonymous comments on a laptop version of that. Mobile does not allow it. So that seems to be a big issue when people write in like, why can't I do this?
Okay, good to know. I did not know that. So thank you. Eleanor does serve as my senior moderator in there. So she does kind of keep me on track in that group. So I appreciate all the help there.
Saving emails one at a time here for coming into our inbox.
But yeah, I did not know that. Maybe at some point that'll be a bug that they work out where that, because so many people now are on mobile devices for this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for sharing that. Right. Well, Eleanor, thank you again for bringing this to the table, and I always enjoy talking with you and exploring more covert narcissism.
Same here. Yeah. Bring on the snow days.
Bring on the snow days. I wish you happy holidays through all the holiday season coming up. So it gets hectic, it gets crazy, and especially when you're navigating this world of covert narcissism. So everyone out there listening, we're here. We will stay here through the holidays with you, and we wish you so much peace. I wish everybody so much peace on your journey of healing. You have been listening to the Covert Narcissism Podcast. If you are struggling with covert narcissism in your life, I help people to heal from covert narcissistic abuse. If you are struggling with the isolation, the self-doubt, and the obsessive thinking, then this is the program for you. I offer both group and individual options. This is live, personalized coaching that is specific to covert narcissism. Reach out to me anytime. You can find me at my website, covertnarcissism.com. I'm not a therapist and you are not a victim. I am a coach and you are a survivor. I wish you so much peace on your journey of healing. The information provided by Renee Swanson and the Covert Narcissism Podcast is for educational purposes only and is not to be used for diagnosis purposes and not intended to be a substitute for clinical care. Please consult a healthcare provider for guidance specific to your case. This material discusses narcissism in general. It does not claim that any specific person has narcissism and should not be used to refer to any specific person as having narcissism. Permission is not granted to link to or repost this material to support an allegation or a claim that any specific person is a narcissist. That would be an unauthorized misuse of the material and information provided.